I believe the Social Security claiming decision is one of the biggest non-decisions in this dilemma that people have about when to collect their Social Security. I think it's really overblown. And I think that there are good reasons to collect at 62, and I think that there are good reasons to collect at 70. The reason people wait is because that benefit goes up, which I'll explain in a second. But anybody can produce a report like this for Darryl and Jill Rosen. Well, actually, you can't do it for Darryl and Jill Rosen, but you know what I mean. Anybody can have a Social Security report, and this report will calculate a break-even analysis. One of the reasons why I think that this is so overblown and sort of like nonsensical that people obsess over this is that it doesn't take into account two factors, resources and comfort. Let me explain. The resources indicate whether you have a pension, other sources of income, and in terms of how are you going to pay your bills. Because if you don't have a pension and you stop working and don't have any revenue coming in, how do you pay your bills? So that's a consideration. This thing can tell me to wait till 70 all day long, but if I don't have money to pay my bills, that's another story.
Hi, it's me again. As I'm reviewing this video before I post it, I realized I wasn't very clear on one thing, so I want to make it a little bit clearer. When I talk about resources, here's what I mean. If you are retired and you don't have pension income or annuity income and you're not collecting Social Security, you have to pay your bills somehow because you may get tired of working, but your bills don't get tired of being paid. So what do? You have retirement funds, maybe an IRA or 401k, and you start to use some of that money, which is okay. That's what that money is there for. My problem when I talk about resources and how these Social Security analysis reports, they don't take into account your financial position or condition. They are a raw analysis that will almost always say you should collect when you're 70 because that's when the benefit is higher. The reality is the bills have to get paid. So I wanted to put this little cut in for you to make sure you understood, because I didn't say it before, is that I understand that we're going to use retirement funds. I just think that if it's retirement funds or if it's Social Security, we just have to be mindful of the fact that the bills have to get paid. So deferring Social Security is not always the right answer.
The second reason is it doesn't take into account your comfort. We are not algorithms. We are people. I feel really, really strongly about this. It's part of why I'm getting kind of emotional. This cannot measure comfort. It doesn't measure how you feel inside when you have a check come to your mailbox every month. It just doesn't measure that. It doesn't have a way to. And I really believe that sometimes it's okay to choose comfort over the best optimal answer. Optimal if it doesn't help you sleep at night, it's not working for you. So I want to share a couple reasons why it may make sense to wait until age 70. Before we go any further, let me introduce myself. I am the voice behind Get Financial Strength Now, and I do these videos to help people have safety, simplicity, and financial strength, most of all, financial strength at any age or stage of their journey through life. If you like what I'm doing, hit the button below, give me a comment, a thumbs up, or subscribe so you get these videos right away. So let me share an example of why it may make sense. I'll give you actually two of them. It may make sense to wait till you're 70 years of age. So my benefit up here at 67 is $33.63 a month. My benefit at 70 is $41.88 a month. That's a 24% increase. That's why people say to wait. So that's why, because that benefit keeps going up. Now, my very favorite wife, Jill, her benefit at 67 is $16.81, and she gets what we call the spousal benefit. And what the spousal benefit is so Jill was busy raising our kids, our three sons, for many, many years. These are actually the three sons right here. That's Josh, that's Danny, and that's Ben. So she was out of the workforce. And the way Social Security is calculated, as you probably know, is you have to have 10 years of work, so 40 quarters, which she has, paying into Social Security. But you also have to have, but also what they're looking at are the 35 highest wage earning years. And the reality is that Jill gets the higher of half of my benefit or her benefit. Half of my benefit, half of Darryl Rosen, is higher. So she's going to get $1,680 $481. So let's talk about one of the reasons why it might make sense for her to wait. And we're going to put this down here as Darryl will say bye-bye. I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek. What I'm trying to suggest is that Darryl is no longer on the scene. So what happens if I pass away? What happens is if I pass away if I took Social Security at 67, then Jill's going to get this 3363. What actually happens is she collects the higher of her benefit or my benefit, but then her benefit goes away. So that's gone. So what is one of the reasons why we want to, if we're concerned with the income that she would have if I'm on the way out, or I should say if I'm out, then we want to wait as long as possible. So that's one of the reasons to wait. Now, there are a lot of moving parts. There's no one size fits all. But if you're concerned about health and not being here, and you want your spouse to have the highest possible benefit, you wait until there's no way for the benefit to go any higher, and that's 4188. So that's one reason why it might be beneficial for us to wait until 70. In the report will always say about 70. So what does the survey say? It says always about 70. And the break even is always going to be about 81. No matter how you slice it, they're always going to show that when you get to be about 81, if you live longer, then it made sense to take the higher benefit. But look, but then we go back into resources and comfort, right? So if you don't have a pension and you have to pay for your bills somehow, then sometimes that's a reason to take Social Security a little bit earlier. Okay, so what's the second reason? I ran into this today, which is kind of interesting. The second reason would be a big age gap. Okay, so I talked to some people today where the husband was 67 and the wife was 60. Now, if I'm doing my math correctly at home here, that's a 7-year difference. So there's another reason why. So presumably, if she lives to be 94, then and they start collecting at 60, she's going to live for 34 years, right? So that big age difference can help into the claiming decision. When I have clients that are that have a big age gap, I often suggest that if it at all possible, that they wait until the end. Right, so we want them to wait until 70 if possible. So the benefit can go no higher when you turn 70. So there's no reason not to take it when you turn 70. But so here are two examples where we can slice this 1,000 different ways. This claiming decision, I think it's overblown. The first one is where we might expect or be fearful of the primary wage earner passing away, and we want the highest possible benefit, which in this case would be 4188. Or if there's a big age gap when the younger person is not the primary wage earner, and they could possibly live a lot of years, a lot longer. So there you have it. If you have any comments, questions, put them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer any questions. I love doing these videos to help people, again, financial safety, simplicity, and strength. I know I'm like a broken record, but that's what I do, and thank you for watching.